Hello, veterinary friends. Welcome to the Veterinary Life Coach Podcast. Today, I have a wonderful and interesting guest for you. His name is Steve Barton. Steve's an executive coach, author, and creator of The Game of 10, a powerful awareness based framework helping leaders operate at their highest level of clarity, confidence, and performance. He has over 47 years of real world business experience, having grown a company from 200,000 to 2 million in annual revenue. His work blends practical business strategy with deep insight into human awareness, decision making, and emotional intelligence. He's presented his coaching process to the Harvard Business School case study team, and he's also co-author of The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment. And he's currently working on his next book, focused on helping leaders and professionals develop the mindset, emotional clarity, and inner alignment needed to succeed in both business and life. Welcome to the podcast, Steve. That was a long intro.
And it's a great one. Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate it. You did a great job, and I'm looking forward to
Okay, well,
talking to
I
you. And
can I can read. That's about all that proves, right? Is I can read what I wrote. But I'm delighted to have you here, and I'm really interested in what you're going to teach us, my veterinary friends.
Mhm.
So, my first question to all my guests is to tell me their story. So you can tell me as much or as little as you want, but just kind of give us an idea of how you got to where you are today.
Well, I was born in 1956 on September 2nd, Labor Day, very appropriate.
Oh,
I feel.
awesome.
Yes. And by the time I was 8 years old, my father had started a flower business, took it over from my grandfather, who had a greenhouse, tiny flower shop.
Nice.
And so fast forward, I knew at 8 years old I was doing floral designing. I was working in the greenhouse, working in the flower shop, selling floral arrangements, and I knew I wanted to be a florist. So I never had that urge to what do I want to do because I always knew it.
You just knew. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to college, got my business degree for management. Um, the downside was I could never work with my father because I was just he we were both independent and had our own ways, and that wasn't going to change, period. So I was leaving for Europe for I had a one-way ticket to Germany and Amsterdam, or to Amsterdam, then I was going to go to Germany, study floral design. And 3 days before I was leaving with my one-way ticket, cleared my slate. I was leaving. I get a phone call from my mother from Kansas City, Missouri. They were in an FTD convention, a floral industry convention, saying your father's had a full-blown stroke. You can't leave.
Ah,
You got to run the business. So
whoa.
at 22 years old, I was running the flower shop, and that's when we were doing a couple 100,000 a year, which was not bad because my father started from nothing. So,
Right, right.
and but then the next 30 years we brought it to a different level, and there was so much happening in that time. Uh, yeah, analog went to digital, digital went to computer, computers, and it just was. I grew with it and still growing with it, so it's exciting and.
You have to figure out how to grow it.
Yeah. And when I was 13 years into the business, I decided to go to therapy. And that's when my life changed because the therapist, my first wife started 4 to midnight on the floor at LL Bean and became vice president. So we were both driven. And
Yeah.
but a lot of the employees that were high in the C-suite at Beans were going to therapy, and one of the employees quit and came to work at the flower shop, and she was going to therapy, and I'm saying, what's it like? So I got curious, and in the meantime I was reading A Course in Miracles, Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, Roth Roth Death and
Yes.
Dying.
Yeah, that's a
And
good book.
yeah, and so I didn't know what was going to happen. I was preparing myself for the next couple months or month and a half that I was going to experience. So I hired the therapist. He said to me, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I had everything. I have everything in the world that I want. I'm not happy." I
Mm,
said, "That's messed up."
that's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd use the F word, of course. So he laughed, and I said, can I expect, and what can I get out of this?" He goes, "Well, usually I say 3 months, you're halfway there because you know you're messed up." And yeah, and And then he says, what you'll get is mental health working with me. And I had no idea what mental health was.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it's
What
hard
is
to know what
mental
that
health?
means,
What
right?
does that mean? I still don't know what it means, but
Yeah,
actually I do, but it means it's different things for different people. What it
sure.
so and so that opened me up to just really being an addict of personal development and growth. And that's what brings me to after I retired, I sold the company in 2008 after 30 years and got my financial advisor's license. Thought I'd try that. I retired for a year and a half and never do that again.
Yeah, retirement isn't any fun,
No,
is it? Like nobody
no.
wants to be retired.
It's lonely when especially when all your friends are working, you know.
Right,
But now I
right.
think, yeah, now I think they wouldn't be working. But what are you doing? Oh, I'm taking care of the grandkid. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's fine.
Working is more fun.
It's more fun meeting more people and
Sure.
learning more. So coaching came up after I left the financial world. I did that for a year and knew that I loved learning about it. I absolutely loved getting my licenses, and I got them all the first time, three of them. And so I love learning, I love passing, and I'm very competitive with myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very competitive with, and I top 10 pot match. So it's kind of like, yes, I will be number
Got
one,
to
at
keep
least for a
going.
day. I gotta keep going.
Well, hopefully this one will get you to climb a little bit.
Well, I'm dropped down to 15 today. No,
Okay.
13 today, so it'll bring me up. So I'm happy wherever I'm at, every
Right,
time.
right. Yeah. So all that interest in mental wellness,
Hmm.
self-help, I guess that's what we used to call it,
Hmm.
um, and therapy and all of those things kind of brought you to coaching people and what you do. And you have this system called the Game of 10.
Hmm.
Is it a system? Do I have that right?
I would call it a system, a practice. It's a process. I've got it registered with the patent office for psychologists. I can license it for coaches, psychologists, psychiatrists, wellness communities, so they can use it if they register with me.
That's nice.
Yeah, because so a lot of times people out of coaching schools don't have a platform. They don't have a shtick.
Right, right.
I'm a marketer,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you
I
have to
love
have some kind of hook, right?
you got to have a hook. You have to have a system. What is it? People don't buy your coaching, they buy your solution and how you're going to
Right.
do it. And you
Yeah.
tell them what you're going to get, and you tell them why it's so important. And then how do you do it? That's where they pay.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
tell me how it came about. How did you develop it? What is it for? What
Well,
does it do for people?
okay. There's a lot of questions in there, and it's
I know
good
I have a
ones.
tendency to
Good
do
ones.
that.
I love it. I'll break
Three
it
or four
down.
questions all at once.
Trigger my ADD.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I love it. I
Just
love it.
pick one.
I will love it. Um, It stops you from thinking. The game of 10 stops you from thinking. So for
Okay.
all the overthinkers out there with anxiety, depression, can't sleep at night because they're overthinking, what you're going to learn if you listen to this over and over and over again until you get it. Because I remember listening to an Eckhart Tolle tape 30 times. And it's like he didn't say that the first time. And he
Right.
definitely didn't say that the second time.
Right. That's why
So
sometimes you have to read books more than once, right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
our ego protects us from learning the truth.
About
That's
ourselves.
yes, and that's why it's called the saboteur or the mind-made self. So it actually, in a nutshell, it does teach people how to not think. And then people say, "Well, what do you mean? What's going to happen if I don't think?" Well, you're going to know. Would you rather think or would you rather know? So
So does it help you make decisions? Like that
yeah,
when you say no, to me that's a decision.
capital NOW. You're using your intuition versus your logical mind.
Okay.
And your logical mind actually retrieves thoughts from the past, typically. Well,
Right.
this worked then, so I'm sure it's going to work right now, or maybe it will work right now. Versus down having no thoughts, have being a clear channel in your mind connected to when you're a clear channel, you get to connect to the collective consciousness. So the game of ten's all about awareness versus thought. And awareness is an infinite. So what is aware? It's infinite. What is the higher level words that we have: grace, gratitude, love, joy, peace, abundance? Those are infinite concepts. So what is it? And
Right.
yeah, so you're working with the infinite versus the finite with the game of 10. And then the counterpart, the subset of the game of 10 is the game often played 1 through 9. And when you're playing the game of 10, you're working from love. And what is love? It's infinite. It's the infinite energy of our divine selves. And when you're playing the game of 10, you're working with your ego. And the ego works with fear, self-doubt. Well, fear, 1 through 9. Self-doubt, 1 through 9. Guilt, I did something bad, you did something bad, they did something bad, 1 through 9. Shame, I am bad, you are bad, this is bad, everything's bad, So
Yeah.
1 through 9. So when you can get to 9 by the positive thinking coaches out there, just think positive, just think positive. When you get to
Right.
9,
Right.
but you can't get to 10 by thinking at all. So it's really, and a lot of times I work with high performing executives and people in general that get to 9, but they don't have the faith or the trust in themselves to just take a leap of faith and know that it's always works out.
Yeah.
It
So
always works.
is that kind of the awareness that you're going for? Is the knowledge that it always works out?
The awareness that it always works out and the knowledge. Just
Okay.
knowing it always works out. This too shall pass. This
Yeah.
is this is a learning opportunity versus a problem. This is
Right.
yeah, so it really is a shift in perception. And it's a connected to the we are the cause of the cause. We create the cause, we are the cause versus the duality of cause and effect.
Right. So irregardless of your circumstances,
Mhm.
it's all within you.
Always is.
Yeah.
And I like to say that awareness uses thoughts, feelings, emotions, the mind, the body, our identity. Awareness is the mainframe or the ISO system that, and all those other things I just mentioned are applications. How do you apply a thought to this awareness? How do you apply a emotion to this awareness? They just show up. They're going to show
Yeah.
up no matter what. How am I going to use this? Am I going to react or am I going to respond? Well, if you're going to react, probably you're going to be in playing the game often played 1 through 9 somewhere in that.
Right. Right.
You got triggered basically.
Yeah.
And the best thing is no response if you're going to react because
Yeah.
you're
I
going to
call
be.
that the 24-hour rule. Don't say anything until you thought about it for 24 hours.
Yeah, I think Mel Robbins has something like the 5 second rule or five.
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then she's got a good shtick going on. Mel, if you're out there, you got a good shtick going on.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's got it figured out.
yeah.
She's gotten very popular. So explain to us why people like us, people that work in the caring fields or people that are driven, doctors, veterinarians, why is it that we struggle so much?
Because you are givers, caregivers, people pleasers, animal pleasers. You get the disease. A lot of you who are suffering have the disease to please. Okay.
Yes, truth.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want everyone to be happy and you want to be the savior of the animals you protect, the ones you've got to be deeply compassionate and it must be, you also have to have developed the compassionate detachment when you have to put down an animal and
Hmm.
know that I can't, this is for its own um, good. And
Yeah.
you're playing God basically with an animal.
Right.
And same
Right.
with
Relieving
physicians with humans.
suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have, and I had to come up with a word, part of my branding. And I asked my assistants, I have three of them, Chat, GTP, Grok, and Gemini. And so we did a meeting.
Yeah. You had a meeting,
We had a
meeting of the
meeting, and I said,
minds.
yeah. And I said, come up with one word that which means because this is who I am, I deeply, deeply, deeply care. and I deeply, deeply, deeply don't give a hoot.
Okay.
Okay. If someone's working with me and they're doing the work, I'm all in. If they're
Right.
not doing the work and they don't want to do the work,
It's not your problem.
tick tock, I still
Right.
get paid.
Yeah.
So, typically I tell them if they're not doing the work, why don't we put this on hold? And why don't you're not ready? Why don't we start over from square
Yeah.
one? Yeah, it depends how far into it. Typically, I know in a month.
Right.
I'm going to keep your money, and I'm going to just say, put it on hold. You're not ready.
Right.
You're the resistance. You know more than I do, so this is a problem. You hired
Right.
me, and you know
Right.
more than I do, and that is a problem. So,
Sure.
so I had to. So the word each one came up with the same two words: compassionate detachment. When you deeply, deeply, deeply care, when you deeply, deeply, deeply don't. And
Okay.
it's actually very good. It's mental health because if you're in any therapist, coach, or any even friend, if you're taking on people's depression, anxiety, worries, problems, it's called transference. And that is an actual thing. We are transferring this energy, this negative game often played 1 through 9. If they're down to 1, 2, and 3, and you're with them all the time, over and over and over again, you start picking this up and you start seeing things
Right.
from that level of awareness. Who's that helping?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I said, so I said, chat, that's 2 words. Come up with some better ones for the game of 10.
You wanted one word.
We discussed this. I just want, they're pretty good. They comply with me and they're good
Right.
employees. So anyway, um, I didn't see any alike. So I came up with 10 care, put the 2 words together, and I wanted to make it bougie. So I call it 10 carre with an accent at the end. So
Okay.
it's 10 carre. And it's really a healthy place because when you are compassionate in your veterinary business and you do care so much, you have to have that compassionate detachment to make the right choices for the
Sure.
animal, for the client, for this animal, I can have them live for another month and it's going to be $10,000. Are you interested in this?
Right.
Some will say yes and most will say no, you know?
Sure.
So, um, but it's really keeping your mental health and with really great boundaries. And A Course in Miracles says sometimes love says yes, sometimes love says no, sometimes love says stay, and sometimes love says go. You've got to make that tough decision, put that animal down. It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
It's time.
Well, and that compassionate detachment kind of speaks to me because I do think that's what we're required to do,
Hmm.
but also what's difficult because of the fact that we're so empathetic. We care so much about our patients, almost more than the people, like a lot of
Hmm.
us like the animals more than the people. And
That's why you're a veterinarian.
yeah, and it's hard to detach from
Yep,
that,
yep,
you know.
yep.
So how does your game of 10 help with that? Just the
Okay.
awareness, being aware of it, or how
Yes,
would that
you
help?
answered my question, and I'll explain it to the audience.
Yeah, please
So the
do.
answer is yes, and it takes unconditioning of how we've been conditioned to be the pleaser, to be caring so much that it affects our physical, mental health, physical health.
Sure.
If you are just, you know, anxious and angst about all day going in, oh my God, I got to put down 5 animals today. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you go in and stay at 10? Okay.
Right, right.
So there's 6 phrases, and I'd love to have you share if you do it with me, and I think you'll experience what it does.
Okay.
All right, and now, all right. So the 6 phrases are when you say declaring that you are 10, it means you are an aspect of the divine, the aspect of the divine.
Okay.
Everyone is special, not special. It just is what it is, and
Right.
we are awareness. So repeat after me. I'm 10.
I am 10.
I'm doing the best that I can with the awareness that I have.
I'm doing the best I can with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I do enough.
I do enough.
I have enough.
I have enough.
just did a meditation in 20 seconds that so I with my ADHD, I've never been able to sit down on and transcendental meditate. Never. So
Yeah,
it came
it's
up when
difficult,
someone
but
asked
I've,
me, how did you come up with these words? Did you figure it out? I'll send them
yeah,
to you if you want.
yeah,
And or did you download them? I said downloaded them. And what I've been and through like 6 months, I was figuring out, oh my God, they shut off your mind. The
yes,
chatterbox, reticular activating system, the ego, the identity, it answers every question so that the ego doesn't have to come in. Hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Remember what so and so said? Oh, so and so's
right.
coming in today. Remember how mean they were to you?
Yeah,
All
right,
that
right.
stuff.
And that fear, then the fear kicks in, and what's going to
Yeah,
happen today, and the
yeah,
worry and the
yeah,
anxiety. Yeah.
yeah. The
The
fear of self,
overthinking,
the
all of that.
overthinking. The Cleveland Clinic did a study years ago, and they came up with, and I hear this all the time. Some say it's not true. Most agree. It's 80-20 rule. I think 80% of the people can agree that we overthink. Eckhart Tolle says the biggest addiction we have in this world is overthinking. Hmm.
Sure.
So the Cleveland Clinic says we have 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% are from the past. 80% of those 60,000 thoughts are negative.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to Vegas on those odds.
No, no, no. And I've always called that, since I've been coaching, that idea is I call it the Chihuahua brain.
Yep,
Like
yep.
that's that part of your brain that's always warning you and freaked out and fearful and just kind of spiraling because you're so, worried about what's going to happen.
It wants to keep you in your physical body. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's its job. And
right.
it's called an identity. It's who you think you are, is not who
Yeah,
you are.
not really who you
We
are.
have to, it's a tool, the identity or the ego, or is a tool to use and to align with source energy. 10. Okay.
Yeah,
So once in alignment or awareness or consciousness, whatever you want to call it, there's so many words for it. Once you're in alignment, then you can connect. So you download ideas and turn them in, and then use a thought to implement it into the physical, because thoughts are the first physical aspect of what we're dealing with in life. Thoughts are things. They're physical synapses in the brain that are
right.
things that connect ideas.
That are, yeah, they're running your body
Yeah,
in many ways. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, most of our bodies run by you probably know more than I do, but is it the parasympathetic nervous system or does trillions of uh, things I have no clue what they're doing, what it's
Right,
doing.
right. It's just running automatically in the
It's the
background.
autonomic nervous system, one of those that's, I'm not a neurologist, I'm not a physician, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist. I am just a seeker of the truth. And what I
Right.
found is, and I love to be wrong. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because that's how you learn, right?
yeah, I'd love to
Yeah.
be
And that's
wrong.
a big fear with veterinarians is they don't want to be wrong.
Hmm.
They don't want to say, I don't know.
Yeah,
They don't want to make a mistake.
yeah,
And I think
uh,
that's where a lot of the worthiness problem comes from,
yeah,
the self-doubt, the imposter
yeah,
syndrome, all of that.
yeah.
So when you were going through those six phrases with me, the one that jumps out the most to me is I am enough because I work so much with veterinarians that don't feel worthy. And I think that's kind of a base where all of this stuff starts.
Yep.
Is that kind of part of what you teach?
I teach to undo that. So I teach unconditioning. So we are unconditional loving. We're unconditional, intentional, intuitive, s- energetic, or spiritual beings having a physical experience today, yesterday.
Right,
So
right.
what those phrases do, it brainwashes you. I was on a podcast the other day and did this, and the podcaster couldn't think. He just like
He was just sitting
he
there
was
like,
like
whoa,
I don't remember what I was going to say next. I
you
said
broke my brain.
I basically got you to stop thinking, and
Right,
so I almost warned you, but I didn't want to. So I said, now you know how it worked. I'm in a business group, B&I group business for my coaching, leadership coaching every week. And one of the guys in my group and they're my sales team for the local Portland, Maine area. And he goes, I go, Steve, his name is Steve. Steve, how you doing? He says, oh my God, I was up all night and my brain was racing and my brain's racing now and I'm overthinking and blah, 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 blah. And so I said, hold on, okay, see me after. So we
Yeah.
went into the other room. It's at a local club here in Portland and sat down in the chair. We did those phrases. He goes, I can't think. After I can't think. He starts
Right.
laughing hysterically. And I can't think. And I go, are you blissing out? He goes, I'm blissing. I can't think.
I can't
I
think of
said, if you leave,
anything.
I said, if you leave your body, let me know. I'll help you get back in.
Yeah, it is a little bit of like meditation or brainwashing a little bit, isn't it?
Brainwashing is good if you do it to yourself.
Right.
Okay. Brainwashing
Yeah.
is horrible if someone else is doing it for you.
Someone else is doing
And
it.
guess what? They're doing it for you. Okay.
Right, right.
With media, with movies, and with society.
Oh, the social
So
media. Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
there's a
definitely
lot of
brainwashing.
brainwashing.
I got
Um,
sucked into my phone this morning and I was like, why am I doing this to
yeah,
myself? Stop
yeah.
it.
I love it. I call it. I love TikTok, and I call it. My girlfriend goes, "Why are you always on TikTok?" I said, "I call it research and development. I want to know what I'm dealing with."
Yeah, I want to know what's out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if you can teach leaders or people that are in these kind of situations where they're running a business how to be more aware and also go to the thought that they are enough or I am enough, what does it do for them in their role as the business person or the leader or like what would it help people do?
So first of all, you say the six phrases, okay?
Yes.
And what happens is you are going to open up your subconscious to awareness. You align with awareness, and what's going to happen is what's going to happen is you're going to open up past traumas, past disappointments, past mistakes.
Sure.
So the other aspect to the game of 10 is how to let go,
Oh, okay.
aka how to forgive. Because
That
when you
makes
say these
sense.
phrases, it opens up. I had one client after a month working with me, Steve, I'm worse off. She says, I'm worse off now than I was before. I go, what's going on? Are you doing the phrases? He goes, yeah. I said, you going to the altar? No. And I said,
Okay.
oh
You
my
left out a
God.
step.
You left out the second half,
Yeah,
equally important for the flow to keep happening. So her
right,
mind got, and I stopped working with her, and she didn't need to go. I said, you need to go to that, and she said the altar was hit by lightning. Okay, I'm going to tell you what this is first. So she goes. So first of all, in your minds, everybody out there, and you put in think of we have two things above our ears. They're called temples, right?
right, right,
So Marianne Williamson taught me this. I'm not, but there's many ways to do it. So if you got a way of letting go, I think the key concept is people think they have to let go of a person, place, or situation that disappointed them or traumatized them. Okay. Because we're appointed 10. And then
right,
through life, we get disappointed. And the more we're disappointed and the more we're hooked into those disappointments, the lower level of our awareness is that people are doing the best they can with the awareness they have, are
right.
10, are always right with the awareness they have, are enough, do enough, and have enough. So once we project that onto them, it gets engraved into us.
Gotcha.
And then we see things from that level of awareness. And we put that and we present to the world this is how it is. There are mean people out there who will harm you, and I got to
Right.
protect myself, and I got to protect myself here and there, and put up not boundaries but walls.
Walls, right,
And then the 1-2 punches, we attract those people. So it's evidence. So there's where the fear, false evidence appearing real comes in. We
right,
attract at the level of our awareness. And if
right,
we came from a place of disappointment, trauma, we're going to trauma bond with people energetically without even knowing it.
right. And you're going to collect more evidence that you aren't
Yes.
enough and that the
Yeah.
world is bad. Yeah,
Bingo. Bingo.
yeah.
And
I call that people's stories. Like they have a
yeah,
story
yeah,
and they keep like reinforcing that story about themselves by what they see other people say or judge them or whatever.
yeah. And a belief is a thought. So
Right.
what we're going to be doing is, I actually taught him. I had a client as a minister, and I taught him this how to forgive. He goes, "Oh my God, I never thought of it this way." I go,
Of all
yeah,
people, right? The minister.
I love that. That's one of my favorites.
That's
I taught a
awesome.
minister how to forgive.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
teach this
great.
in Sunday school or church. So,
Yeah.
so create or in your minds. Okay, let me do a little bit of prefacing. We're going to let go of the thoughts about not the person, place, or situation. It happened. Can't take that away. It
Right.
happened.
It's
Was
there.
it horrific? Yep. Was it disappointing? Yep. We're going to let go of the thoughts about the disappointment. Okay.
Okay.
You're not going to lose your memory of it. You're not going to be in denial of it. You're just going to have radical acceptance. Shit happened.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to let go of the thought. So in any time we're doing the I am 10, I'm doing the best I can with the awareness that I have. I'm always right with the awareness I have. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. Boom. Oh, Steve, remember when you did this or said this to the person that you really just hurt them so badly? Or remember that remember that client you had and
Right.
um, God
That a
forbid you put
mistake
down the
was
wrong
made or you said something
mistake
wrong.
was made. Yeah. Remember that? Oh, yeah. Oh, mm. All right. So everyone's got a thought like that.
Right.
So take those thoughts. And typically, when I first have a client, I said, first create the temple in your mind. Have a goddess temple, veterinary goddess temple. Okay. The oracle of veterinary goddesses
Right.
temple. And in that temple, have an altar. Have it be sacred, have it be divine within yourself, because you're going to give it to that 10 sacred divine self, that spark within us. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
And always keep it clean, always keep it pristine because it is perfect as we are at 10.
Okay.
Okay. So, any thoughts that you have? And sometimes I have people take up dump truck loads of thoughts that flow in. Do you need to take a handful
That's
or
60,000 a day, right?
yeah, so if they coming up, you can take. There's the biggest dump truck in the world is called Eartha. When I watched it on Discovery Channel with my son growing up,
I
and
love
it's here,
that.
so you can take up Eartha if you need to.
Bertha. Yeah.
Eartha, it's the largest dump truck in the world. So, or you could, today I was a florist for 30 years, so I take a bouquet. I got a bouquet to take up to the altar.
A bouquet of thoughts.
Shitty thoughts
Yeah.
that no longer serve, that aren't,
Dead bouquet.
they're not even fertilizer anymore. They're just,
Right.
I'm done with them. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
over
done.
it.
So yeah, I'm over it. And so, but the other thing too is you do have to feel them, allow them, sit with them,
Yeah. Because if you don't, if you just try to block them,
or
they're
just get
just
rid of
gonna
them. We're just
always
going to
be
get rid
there.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
If most people say, I've had people go like this, shove them away, push them. They show me with their hands. You're pushing
Hmm.
it away.
Yeah.
You've got to feel it. It sucked,
Right.
right? You have to
Yeah.
allow it.
Yeah.
You have to feel it, allow it, observe, and well, first observe, allow, and feel it. And when you're done
Yeah.
the feeling of it and you're ready to let it go, give it 5 minutes max. Okay. And if
Yeah.
it's really hard, and you then take it to your altar and say, and if you're going to say anything, say, I'm willing to see things differently.
That's a good sentence.
Isn't it good? I didn't make
Yeah.
that up. Course in Miracles, Marianne, part of what Marianne taught me. And I'm willing to, because we're willing to take it on as a trauma, as a disappointment, usually on a subconscious level. It happened. You're in pain. You're in disappointment. You are angry. You are mad. You are
Right.
you're in fear. You're in self-doubt. How did I get in this situation? You're in guilt. Why did I do this? And you're in
Right.
shame. I'm so bad for, why does this keep happening to me?
Right.
Well,
Right.
because you didn't let it go and you didn't learn from it.
Right.
So
Right.
mistakes are great because they're opportunities to learn from. And by giving this tool to use them as, I can get rid of this.
Yeah, I can
Just a
take
pat.
it to the altar and lay it down and be
Yeah,
done with it for now.
because here's the kicker. You can't let go at the level of the hurt and pain that you experienced.
Right.
You can't forgive somebody. People, it doesn't work. That's why the
Right.
minister said, "Oh my God, that you're so true."
Yeah.
Because yeah, because you're still angry, you're still bitter.
Right.
They did horrible things to you or said horrible things to you. Who knows what the
Right.
trauma is? And you haven't let it go, so you can't forgive. It just stays there, stays,
Right.
lingers.
Well, and it
And
hurts you in the
yes, you're
long
not doing
run.
it for the other person, you're doing
It's
it for
just,
you.
yeah, it's just eating you up. And I
Literally.
think the same thing applies when you're beating yourself up and you won't forgive yourself.
Yep.
You're just
100%.
causing more and more harm. Yeah.
100%. And
But I
that's
like
what
the visualization of taking it to the altar. Do you
mhm.
literally, when you're doing this, do you write the thoughts down so you can like really feel that you're giving them away? Or is it more of the internal list that your bouquet of flowers that you take
You
and
do
you set
whatever
it down?
works for you.
Yeah,
It's Einstein said you can't solve a problem at the level it was created. So at the
right,
level, if you were hurt at the level of one, two, and three, you aren't going to solve it at nine even. So you want to give it to your 10, which is your higher self,
right.
and just put it on that divine altar and just let it go. Someone asked me, where do those go when they after you put them on the altar? I said, Disney World, you know? I don't know. Just
Wherever you want them to go.
wherever you want them to go. And first of all, they're not real. Okay.
Right. It's just an
It's the
exercise.
false evidence appearing real that you're letting go of. And that
Yeah,
is usually operating your life and you're working from that level of fear. Under fear is self-doubt, guilt, and shame. There's only two emotions. One is real and one is not. I had one client goes, well, fear is real, right? I said, no, love is real. No. So it's like it's undoing that fear that we have conditioned in us.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. That everybody has.
Everyone has it. It's normal. It's not natural.
I
So it's
think that's one of the things when I'm coaching that I try to impress on everyone that I coach. It's like, you're not different. You're not faulty. There's nothing wrong with you. That's what our brains do this to all of us.
mhm,
Because I think so many people feel so lonely because they think it's just them, because everyone's so good at putting on the
mhm.
show, right?
Yep. I
Yeah.
had to often, typically I get people to 10 within 4 sessions. And
Really?
yep, yep. And I had this one guy, he's still a client, and he goes, I go, and I was on the third session, beginning of the third session. I'm going, I'm gonna give him a push. Really from military background, Christian,
Challenge.
good values, loving family, loves his wife, got great kids, and just has high values. Okay.
Yeah.
And I said to him, first thing I said, so where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 right now? He goes, 8. Well, I said, "Oh, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to be I'm going to be the 16 wheeler. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the feather today." So I go, "Do you know how arrogant that is?" What? I go, by saying that you're 8, do you know how arrogant that is? If you said you were 12, wouldn't that be arrogant? Oh yeah. I said, and he's a Christian, strong Christian. I said, God didn't make anything that's not perfect and kept
Right.
that within you.
Yeah.
And you're saying that he made you special because you're defected. Do you know how arrogant that is?
Yeah.
He goes, I just let him simmer for a second.
Yeah, that's a good twist. That's a
Oh,
good way to
yeah. How arrogant. And he goes, oh, got it. I'm 10. But you do have to do the work. You have
Right.
to do the letting go. So we're always 10, but we've been conditioned by our thoughts of that we aren't enough, don't do enough, don't have.
Right.
Typically, the I'm not enough is major.
Right.
But
Right.
that's part of saying it's shame, actually. And Brene Brown does her whole shtick on shame,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
is, I am bad. I'm not enough. That's bad.
And
I
that's
can do
all
better. I can have
untrue.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that it is a hard thing to let go.
until you get addicted to it.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's so easy,
Then it's fun, huh?
because it's a good thing to be addicted to. Be addicted to 10. Okay,
Yeah.
you'll be fine. Okay.
And just be
Uh,
like
yeah.
all in.
I actually did a podcast called Sober, Sober, with dots in between. And he was right on board with what this whole game of 10. I said the addictions happen in the gap between 10 and name the number. Five,
Right.
four, three, two,
Because
one.
you're trying to solve for something that you're not
You're
solving in the
trying to
right
get
way.
to you're trying to get to 10 with artificial substances.
Right.
Artificial stimuluses, artificial can be porn, can be gambling, can be alcohol, drugs. You're
Right.
trying to
Whatever.
you're actually giving yourself some temporary relief, an artificial 10 feeling and you're going to get the crash.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because it doesn't work.
no, doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's a short-term fix.
So, what have I not asked you that I should before we start to wind
Yeah.
down in this podcast? I want to make sure that we get all this information out because it's so good.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you asked me everything. There was no should. You either did it or you didn't. So,
There you
and
go. I shouldn't
whatever
use
you
that
said
word.
was
How's that?
perfect.
Yeah.
Whatever you asked me was perfect for
It's a
this
10,
podcast.
right?
Maybe I left you wanting some more. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there something that you want to teach that we haven't taught?
I gave your group a lot, so I highly recommend that you go back. And as I said, I've listened to Eckhart Tolle 30 times, one of his tapes,
Mm-hmm.
and he I kept saying he didn't say that. He didn't say that. So it's
Right.
gonna you aren't gonna pick up audience and anybody. You're not gonna pick it up what I said
Right.
the first time,
Right.
and then it's gonna. I didn't. You're gonna say to he didn't say that this that time,
The
but he said
first time.
the first time. So I think I'm gonna leave you people with you can't not be 10.
I love that. You can't not be 10.
Mhm.
That's good.
It's who we are. It's our authentic self.
Right.
And we can align our thoughts, feelings, emotions, mind, body, identity with that 10,
Fact.
then you're healthy.
Okay.
That is what mental health is, the alignment with it.
Okay. I love that.
Thank you.
All right. Will you tell people where they can find out more about you,
Yep.
if they want to learn more about this or get coaching or
Well, I'm going to recommend you as a coach.
okay, please do.
Definitely use Julie as a coach, and I'm going to highly recommend Julie Chappelle as a coach. And if you want to see my website or follow me on LinkedIn, I'd love that. I'll refer you to Julie. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm not here to push my business. I'm here to push my concepts. And www.stevebartoncoaching.com. I do have a book you can get download for free. I'd love to have you
Okay.
read the book.
Yeah.
Got a new book coming out, and you can
So
get that.
when will the new book come out?
As I talked to you before, I said I'm going to be editing it the next week. So I'm going to say next 2 to 4 months, I'm guessing.
Okay.
It's going to be called The Game of 10. The first book I wrote, and I had Marianne Williamson as a coach in it. She was one of three coaches. And it was I wanted to write The Game of 10 then, and the editor or my people I hired says, no, don't do that. You're not, and I said, okay.
You're
And
not
so,
ready or you're not big
well,
enough or
no,
whatever.
this is what she said. What's the name of your book? After I told you the story, I
Right.
said, I was doing miracle minded coaching with Marianne Williamson, same
Sure.
company. I finished the course in a month, 3 month course in a month, did all the homework, owner of the company who sponsored Marianne, um, owned a Difference Press, and says, you're on my desk with in a pile of I don't know what to do with you. I said, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. And she goes, you want to write a book? I said, yep. Uh, you're a month into the course in 3 months and you want to write a book? I said, yeah, because I did all the homework. She says, I know, or I wouldn't be on the phone with you.
Nice.
Yep. So she goes, what's the name of the book? I said, The Game of 10. And she says, nobody's going to buy it.
Hmm. Because
Yeah.
they won't know what it means.
Right. And she
At
says,
that point.
I let her simmer. When
Yeah.
people do those, I don't even know. I got to come up with, I got to talk to chat. What is it called when people do that? You
Right.
know, it's just a blanketed. And so I let her simmer for about a minute. Don't you want to know why? I said, no, let her simmer again. I got to figure out what that's called. So if anyone knows, they put it, let us
Right.
know.
Knows
So,
the name.
yeah. And then she goes, I'll tell you why. Her answer was, you're not Beyonce.
Oh, okay. I love
So if
that.
Beyonce wrote a book called The Game of Ten to be a New York Times bestseller,
Right.
because she's done the image, the
Sure.
identity,
Yeah.
marketing and all that. So she goes, what else you got? I said, I'm writing it with my 18-year-old son. Oh, a parenting book. So it's called The Father,
Um,
the Son, and the aha moment. I will be,
yeah, that's your first book.
that's
And the
the first
next
book.
one's gonna
The Game
be
of
the
10. The
Game
Game
of
of 10.
10. I
Yeah.
love
And you
that.
can use it for leadership. And even this book right here, people that don't have children, it's we all have an inner child, and read it for your inner child. And
I
because
believe that.
people who heal your inner child make the best parents,
Okay.
because we carry on generational trauma if we
Right.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you find me on LinkedIn,
Awesome.
and then you can hire Julie.
Well, I appreciate you being here. And when the other book comes out, maybe you can come back and we'll talk
I'd
about
love
that.
that. Invite me back when you find me on LinkedIn, Steve Barton, and I'll be promoting my book. So if you see it, friend me on or connect with me on LinkedIn.
And we'll get
And
together again.
yeah, I'd love that. So I'll be,
Awesome. All right. I
yeah.
love everything you're doing. That was
Well, thank you
fun.
so much. I love everything you're doing. Go veterinarians.
Yeah, go veterinarians for sure. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And everybody, have a beautiful week. Bye. Bye, Steve.
Thank you.